Welcome to another episode of Synoptus Lightning Round, where we ask 6 rapid-fire questions with some of the sharpest business minds talking about accelerating business value through technology, IT business alignment, and IT leadership development. Now, here's Cameron and David.
Welcome to another episode of Synoptus Lightning Round. I'm David Reddick, CEO of Synoptus. I'm here with Cameron Ames, CTO of Synoptus, and today we're talking to the Vice President of Product Development for Genesys, Jack Nichols. Cameron, what are you looking for today in this in the video?
So, David, I think that one of the things that I really find interesting about Jack is that he is a former IT guy who's really transitioned to the business side with product development. And it's always interesting to see the perspectives that someone who's lived on both sides of that gap have to say. So I'm really interested in his perspective on that transition and on how he bridges that divide between the two areas.
Great insights. I look forward to something similar. Let's dive into it.
My name's Jack Nichols. I'm Vice President of Product Management for a company called Genesys. Not everyone's familiar with Genesys. We do make what we call customer experience software. So think about customer service from care use cases to sales and marketing use cases. I sit on the product management side of actually figuring out what do we build from software perspective, what customer use cases do we need to actually produce and actually have software that solves for our customers. So been doing it now for about 5 years, been with our current product since it was actually a kind of small internal research development product. And started with a company with interactive intelligence that was acquired by Genesys. So I've seen it go from a small project to over $100 million business here in the last 5 years. So it's been a very interesting ride.
And you're not an IT guy, so I'm really interested in hearing your perspective on IT business alignment. Tell me about how IT business alignment produces business value for Genesys.
Yeah, so it's actually, I started my career as an IT guy and I've ended up out of IT. So I've seen both sides of the house. So from a product management perspective, the way we build software has a huge impact to our overall systems as a company. So the alignment we have between how we build our software, how we integrate it with billing systems, order management, is very critical and actually is a huge part of how we actually can bring our software to the market faster. So how we do things has to be completely aligned between our kind of product, market, and business group and our internal IT support systems.
So it sounds like this is an internal alignment issue and an external alignment issue that's a competitive differentiator for you guys.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because I have to not only coordinate with my own internal IT department, but I'm also building software that has to work with other customers' IT departments. So it's an interesting mix where, I have to be able to think, how does the IT for my customer need to be able to consume these services, integrate these services, and what do I need from my own IT group to be able to deliver these services more effectively to the market?
Wow, that's got to be super challenging. Aside from that, what's the biggest challenge of IT business alignment?
One of our biggest challenges from an internal perspective is the fact that the business unit needs to move very, very quick and we're very agile. So we need to be able to respond to customer needs, respond to the market, respond to new opportunities happening with our larger customers. And our IT organization is learning how to try to keep up with that, to be candid, where a lot of times we are moving 10 times faster than they are, and which isn't fair because they also aren't staffed as much as we are too. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges we run into from being able to keep up with that and then getting behind on projects from an overall prioritization perspective.
Yeah, moving at the speed of business. I hear that quite a bit. That being a challenge. So can you tell us about a positive outcome and a real world example of a positive outcome from IT business alignment?
Yeah, probably one of the areas we've been focusing from a software consumption and back-end IT perspective has been with our CRM. So we do use Salesforce, and we've been trying to make sure we can take processes that were previously manual. So for example, if a customer wanted to trial our software, it could take upwards of 7 to 9 days to actually process all the pieces in the back-end. And we wanted to make it so in Salesforce, they had a new opportunity, they click a button that says free trial, and everything was provisioned. And we worked a lot with IT, and we've actually been able to accomplish that. So now we can provision a new trial in a matter of minutes, And it's actually led to additional things where we've actually started opening up marketplace and customer ability to basically try new solutions and purchase them online, where previously that was a human, sales assisted motion. So that's been a huge win for us.
That's really interesting. We do a lot of business with Salesforce as well. So can you, if someone was recommending a new IT business alignment initiative or a new Salesforce initiative, what's a recommendation you would give them to ensure that they help them be more successful?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, oddly enough, I get a lot of times from customers going, how do we manage this? Because I'm usually working between an IT business unit and the actual service business unit within our customers. And one of the things I've started seeing in the market, and we're starting to adopt internally at our own company, is we're seeing more internal product managers. So product managers that are assigned from the IT to the business unit to understand what is the need of that business unit. How do I look at that business unit as a product of the company? And then how do I more effectively take those needs back to the IT organization as a whole and then execute across the entire organization, rather than, today a lot of times the business unit will have to go to finance IT, they'll have to go to the CRM team, they'll have to go to all these different teams versus, kind of saying, hey, we're gonna have a product manager that builds a roadmap, builds a plan, and then executes across the entire IT organization to meet the needs of the business. So I'm seeing that as a big win.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want to make sure I understand and that our listeners understand. Are you saying that IT should be embedded in the business, or are you saying more cross-functional IT covering multiple departments of the business?
I'm seeing it both ways depending on the size of the company, but usually when I'm seeing the more successful ones, the product managers exist in the IT organization, and then they're either assigned to one or multiple business units to understand the needs of that business unit, and then really come back and build out an internal roadmap of saying, here's the products and services we need to build as an IT organization to actually service that business unit more effectively.
That's great. Thank you. So last question, take a minute, plug anything you want. Floor is yours. It can be your business. It can be your favorite book, be a charity, shout out to your family, anything you can imagine. Go for it.
Wow, so a lot. So, I will plug my mother's not-for-profit. It's called Heart and Souls. So she recently retired from Purdue University, where she's a professor for many years, and started an organization to help collect shoes for homeless. So I've helped donate, and my family goes and assists her as she goes and collects shoes. And then we do shoe drives probably 3 times a year and actually go out and help homeless folks get shoes, whether it be boots in the winter or tennis shoes in the summer, and kind of has been a really cool thing to do and something I like doing outside of the work to give back to the community. So
great. Thanks so much, Jack. Really enjoyed talking to you. Great interview, and stay healthy.
Great video from Jack Nichols, Vice President of Product Development for Genesys. Cameron, what was your primary takeaway from our conversation with Jack?
So the thing that Jack hit on that really stuck out to me was his idea of product owners or product managers at a business unit level internally. And the reason why that's interesting to me is because of worker experience, or depending on your organization's nomenclature, employee experience. And this is one of the newer forefronts, building upon UX, user experience, and CX, customer experience, where you're focused on the processes, tools, and procedures of internal people within an organization, and making sure that their practices are aligned as best you can and as optimized as much as you can. And what's really interesting to me is that Genesys, one of the things that Jack mentioned is that they use Salesforce, and Salesforce is really built to play to all of those. Certainly with user experience and customer experience, they've been doing that for decades. And even tout that heavily on their Customer 360 platform. But they also are becoming one of the premier suites for employee experience or worker experience, where you can really make sure that that process from an employee perspective is optimized to deliver them the clearest, least ambiguous, and smoothest experience they have doing their day-to-day job, which goes a long way towards success at an employee level. David, what about you?
Yeah, and I couldn't have said it better. great observations about the video. One of the things when people think IT business alignment, they often think, this is an internal process improvement that's going to save us money or make us more efficient or more flexible. But Jack keyed on, it does that, and it allows you, creates external revenue generation. It improves your experience with your customers. And so IT and business alignment is important for internal employee experience and external revenue generation. And that's one of the things that Synoptus brings to our customers. So thanks again, Jack. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Synoptus Lightning Round.
Thank you for watching Synoptus Lightning Round. For more episodes of Synoptus Lightning Round, visit synoptus.com, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts.